What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Three Stacks in this thing, and I got a super duper awesome deck for you. It's super lit. I did it before, but this is an update. Because the one I did before it's kind of old, so most of you guys might not be able to find it. So it's Herald Toadally awesome. It's a really cool build that I wanted to try out with some old fairies that I really like. When I say old, they're old as dirt. Like they don't even have like newer prints or anything like that. But yeah, you'll see them when we get to them. Starting off with the main deck, three of that man himself, three of my pom pom girl. You know I gotta have these. This is my bread and butter right here, fam. You feel me? This is just super duper lit. Like, oh man, every time I see them, it's euphoric. You guys have no idea. When I say I love this deck, there's just no doubt in my heart. I absolutely love this deck. This is like my favorite deck of all time. Everybody like other people that play this deck, they might play because they like it, but people do not understand how far this takes me back. This takes me back like 6 7 years. Like, yeah, man, this deck, it's been my bae forever. Then we got three of that stick, three of that throne. Imagine it as you make your herald, the throne appears right behind him. He sits on it and he wields that staff and he's like, you can play Yu-Gi-Oh and you cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh. Basically, these belong together. So yeah, these are your great synergy combo pieces. Seeing these in your hand is awesome. They're all three ofs. They're all absolutely searchable. So those are your consistency cards. And then the one handy manny, he's just a clutch combo piece, an extra pom pom girl, you know, that extra herald, that extra don. So basically gives you a fourth copy of, you know, your main combo starters. And then three of my savage little homies, they lit. Yeah, you know what? Hold up, one for them. We got a sparkle blunt for that one. Cause these little niggas right here are lit. You guys, you have no idea, bro. Like these niggas put in so much work. So the little homies, they're natural effects. They can't be destroyed by battle. But the most important thing is they're fairies, they're level 4, and they're water. But yeah, they also have effects that are rather hard to pull off, but it's still possible to pull off for any of the engine of 3. But the best effect is to remove the cloudy encordance to discard the cloudy encounters to discard one card from your opponent's hand, which you know it really gives you good synergy with the Ouroboros. You start off with Ouroboros, you know, discard a card, and then use him discard a second one. But basically, these guys are just a little mini engine. I like them a lot, and they're fairies, so they're good fodder for Herald of Perfection. Just discard negate. But yeah, I like this engine a lot. They're really clutch. These guys are they're too broken. This is honestly I don't know what variant of my Herald is my favorite, but I try to be as creative as possible with this deck. This is honestly one of my favorite versions. I've created like 24, I think by now, versions of the Heralds. I love all of them. This is definitely like probably number 2. Oh, for me, yeah. But moving on with the monsters. Next up, we've got the Zoo engine, which consists of 2 Ratatouille, the Queen of Snakes, and the Bad Sheep herself. I kind of just had to run these at the end of the day. It's just too consistent. Herald of Perfection Zoodiac. If you guys have not seen that deck in action, it has probably the longest turns in history of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I did a playtest hand where my first turn was almost 20 minutes. In real life, like if you're dueling at regionals, your round is like 40 to 45 minutes. So your first turn is like half the round. Like you're going to time just because of your first turn. It's ridiculous. But yeah, this deck has turns just like that. Going on to the bread and butter, honestly, the spells is where the deck really gets most of its consistency. Well, either way, when you have a hand of monsters or spells, it's good, but the spells give you most of the pluses. 3 pre-prep, it's that goo and that sauce. These are my favorite. If you have these in hand, it's just the ultimate. It's just, oh man, you have a very, very long turn ahead of you. And then 3 of that Las Vegas because it's too clutch. 2 Optimus Prime because he's the leader of the Transformers, and you know he's just clutch. He's a lifesaver. 3 of that Don. This is the most broken ritual spell in my opinion, just because most rituals. The thing about rituals is they cost multiple cards in hand. You can actually never ritual summon with 1 card. In this deck, it actually has a cool interaction where you can ritual summon if you just have a pre-prep and a Benton. That's a 2-card combo for your Herald. But yeah, you basically ritual summon for Herald using 1 card because the 3 cards you use are Benton, Herald, and Dawn. Now, Dawn replaces itself with the Benton that you attributed, and Benton replaces herself with the Search, and the Herald hits the field. So if you think of it, you didn't really lose a card, because costed 3, you got 2 back to your hand, and then 1 went to the field. So it's really consistent summoning down to the Herald, summoning Herald in this deck. 3 instant fusion. This is an absolute must-have. It's probably arguably the best spell, just play starter, because it's instant bomb and shark, instant totally awesome, instant Herald. You know, Herald in Toad is a really devastating threat. The fact being is, sorry that I'm saying, it really bothers me when people say and I hate that I'm doing that. I'm checking myself right now. But anyways, the fact being is, if you kaiju a Herald or if you kaiju a totally awesome, either way, it's like you're gonna have to deal with one of the 2 problems. Now, if you have a blessed hand and you know you have kaiju and you have Raigeki, you know, then that's good for you. And then 2 fusion substitute. I gotta correct myself with the must. Two fusion substitute. It's really, really clutch for the Zoodiac combo, and it's also good fodder for your Ritual Sanctuary. Just pitch it, you know, if you already have Northern engraved, put it back, you know, get a free plus. It's similar to discarding Metaphor's fusion. Think of it that way. On to 1 elves, 1 prep, 1 upstart goblin, 1 foolish burial goods, which is honestly one of my favorite spells because of Metaphor's fusions. Which Metaphor's fusion in this deck is broken. This card is just, it's like glued to my hand. I always have it with that Ritual Sanctuary, and 1 soul charge because it's broken. And naturally, I just soul charge for 1 or 2, most of the time Northern, and then just recycle it back into my deck. Use it again. Deck is really consistent. In my opinion, the most consistent deck in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But we're not here to argue. Going on to the extra deck, we got the Clutch Northern, 2 of the Toads, 2 of the Sharks, 2 Roadkill, 2 Chicago Bulls, 1 of that Jungle Book, 1 of that Everybody Wants Bacon on His Fries, the Star Seraph Targets, and the Emerald. Shout out to my baby Pom Pom girl. She couldn't make it. It was just, I was like, I can't take anything out. Like, literally, if you look at this, you guys, think of this. You look at this extra deck, and you tell me, what would you take out for a Pom Pom girl? Like, what is worth a 1-card draw? Even though she's clutch, and, you know, I really do like her overextending my combos, think of everything we have in here. We're not taking out a Toad. We're not taking out a Shark. We're not cutting any card out the Zoo Engine. These are far too important, and we need 2 Emeralds. Yeah, it's just like, she couldn't make it, bro. I'm sorry. But, yeah, tell me what you guys think of the deck. If you guys like it or not. It's just another variation of the Herald. I honestly, like I said, I love this deck with the bottom of my heart. It's the best. You guys trust and believe. If there's any deck like that I would put my heart and soul into and all my trust, it's this deck. I believe if I'm going up against any deck, that these are my riders right here. My Herald of Perfection. Nobody underestimate this deck in my hands. I can do some crazy stuff with this deck, I promise. Like, man, just think of, go through my channel and look at all the different variations of this deck, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, the possibilities with this deck is just endless, and I've definitely proven that with the fact. You guys check out all the variations, and I'm very proud to present this to you guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much. Team King of Games in this thing, baby. Deuces is wild. Peace.